Everybody, welcome and Happy New Year. My name is Joe. This is JC Sports Replays, and you are here for the official 2025 project announcement stream um, and a little bit of card sorting for Payoff Pitch for our project. So, without further ado, I'll announce the project and we'll go over this again a little bit later. Well, first, let's give everybody a chance to get in here and say Happy New Year. And I hope you have a happy, healthy, wonderful New Year. I'm still waking up. Trying a little Buffalo Trace, not bourbon, bourbon infused coffee. It doesn't have any actual bourbon in it. There's no alcohol. It's not bad. It's not great. Maybe you love it, maybe you hate it. I like my coffee black. It's got a little bit of a sweet taste to it. It's an interesting flavor. I got it for my birthday, which is today. Happy birthday. Yeah, I'm a New Year's baby. And the wife knew I wanted to try it, so she got me a box of the K cups, and we made a pot of it this morning, and it's okay. I wonder if we could make it stronger, if it would be tastier. I don't know, because we don't have, we actually don't use our Keurig. We gave it away a few years ago, and we just use potted coffee, and so she opened up the K cups and made the pot of coffee from 6 K cups, and like yeah, it was all right, but like we probably usually do more like 8 cups, so it's probably a little weak. Um, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. That's good coffee. It's okay. It's okay coffee. You know, it's just okay. Not great. It's okay coffee. But yeah, I wanted to kick off the new year by starting a fresh project because I've been a little all over the place, honestly, and it's been tough for me too. I don't feel like it's a great viewing experience, and I want to give you guys a really fun thing to root for all year and kind of get my stuff together and have more fun with the channel again because every time I'm on I enjoy it, and then life just kind of gets in the way and things have been busy and work's been hard and there's been life stuff going on and there's always going to be stuff going on, so I just want to get consistent with a project on the channel, give you guys at least a game a day and some other videos when I have the time, and have some project we can all enjoy together. So, um, yeah, we're gonna do a little card sorting today as we discuss what we're gonna be doing for the 2025 calendar year. And this is a big project. It's a project I've been thinking about. Um, it's got a couple different parts to it, but we'll talk about that. So I'm gonna kind of switch the camera around here, and you're gonna see my ceiling first, and then there we go. Give the wife privacy as she reads over on the couch. And there are our 1977 cards. Now let me get my chat up because you know I'm terrible at this. Give myself a little room. But I hope you guys had a great New Year. We had a nice, quiet New Year with one of our best friends who we hadn't really seen since we went on vacation to Tennessee, if you remember. So it was really nice to hang out with her last night, catch up. We had some nice life talks. We had some fun playing some games. Uh, didn't really drink or anything, so that was fun. Yeah, just hanging out. But all right, is that? We could tilt that a little bit more. I'm looking forward to probably gonna take the Christmas tree down this weekend, and we can get. It's too much again. Ah, the sadness of George, and we'll be able to get back to our normal, less shaky, stable table. I think we're better there. Still a little kilter. But, hey, Ben Wiz, Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining me today. Let's get the full chat on, not just YouTube's default top chat, which is the dumbest shit ever. There we go. That's pretty good. We're not going to like tweak. Perfectionism is a bitch, isn't it? Hope you're having a great New Year, Ben. And while I'm chatting, I'd love to hear your projects for 2025 in the chat. But we're going to unbox. Not unbox. It's already unboxed. I've had this for a while. I think it's the second order I ever made from Payoff Pitch, and it's been sitting in my closet with a bunch of other stuff for a while. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is 1977. I've been grinding away on 73. I've been doing it a certain way. You're continuing the 7 seasons you're playing amongst the 3 baseball games: strat, payoff, and inside pitch. Yeah, that would be my default, Ben. And if I didn't want to really build the channel a little bit this year and focus on something interesting and unique, I would be doing the exact same thing because I always have multiple projects going for the last 15 years since I got back into the hobby, and I wanted to do something a little more focused this year. And it's not to say that I won't be a one-off here, and this is going to be a challenge for me too, not just a project, okay? But there's a few parts to it. It's the 1977 season. I'm going to play as played in payoff pitch. I'm going to use the as played score sheets that are available through Baseball Sim Research, Ron Bo's baseball site, kindly supplied by Joe Bryan and hosted by Ron Bernier. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but so that's step one of the project. And let me just kind of start. This already ripped too. So this season really wanted to come out, as you can see. It was like it'd been moved around the closet a few times. Because every time I buy more seasons, I have to like rearrange a little bit. And I was playing a little Strat Basic the last couple days just to like reset my palette, which I really like having Strat Basic available for that. It's like also Appa Basic, but Strat's easier to set up because I don't need to have the boards. And I just play Strat like, you get all the results off the cards. So it's pretty easy just to pull it out and play a few games. So that was fun. And it gave me time to think about, I had a few different ideas that I was thinking about. One part of the idea has been consistent, and I'll get into that. But I didn't know basically what season I wanted to play and how I wanted to play it. And now I do. So just kind of get these all together. These are really a mess. So I'm just going to kind of take the top off here. But it's going to be 1977. It is going to be as played because to do otherwise would be a fool's errand. And one of the things I love about Payoff Pitch is that you've got all the cards here. So no reason not to do as played, right? Also with the resources available, the Digital Diamond baseball resources where I can actually get the rosters correct for each day of the season and have all the transactions available to me, like that's awesome. So I really enjoy doing as played for that reason. The other reason I enjoy doing as played is it speeds things up. Whoops, my hat just hit the camera, sorry. It speeds things up quite a bit. It is, I don't know if this is the ideal camera angle for an unboxing, but whatever. It's kind of a boring camera angle. I don't know what else to do though. Maybe we'll just kind of like hang out. One thing you discovered starting this doing stats manual takes a long time to set up in Excel and punch in every game. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So I definitely want to use a scorekeeping aid for this project. Hang on a sec. Let me try something different here. I think if I do this, we might have a little more fun because I'm really gonna be chatting a lot. Although you can't see the cards now. You can't win. Well, we'll start like this for now. But so yeah, one aspect of the project is definitely going to be hanging out and hanging out. Let me start my brain over. I want it's like a poker player scooping in his winnings. I know it's just can't win. I need 5 cameras and a production crew. But you got nice sunlight coming in behind me here. It's kind of nice. Got my hat on because I need a haircut. I'm not bald, as those of you probably know. I have a nice full head of hair. I'm pretty happy with that. I turned 52 today. So the first is always kind of like a weird reset day for me. I think more than a lot of other people. I know everybody kind of like does New Year's resolutions and all this stuff. But because it's my birthday, and it's been my birthday my whole life, it always has like a little extra special like, ooh, New Year connotation to me, right? So I knew coming into 2025, I wanted to do something more focused for the channel. I wanted to get more consistent with my posting on the channel. And I just wanted to have a project to really focus on. One project that the channel would be built around. So there's a couple of parts to this project. The first part, as I show you Greg Gross's card here, for 1977 Payoff Pitch. Right? Is he backwards when I show that? Oh, no, it works fine. Oh, no, it is backwards. That's annoying. It's annoying. Everything's mirrored. But you're seeing it in reverse. I see that. Yeah. All right. So what we're probably going to do is switch back to the overhead in a minute. But let me just talk about the project, and then as I sort the cards, we'll switch back to the other camera. Because I can't multitask yet this morning. Apparently, I need more coffee. This is Buffalo Trace bourbon infused coffee. If you missed that, and it doesn't have actual alcohol in it. It's just made by Buffalo Trace and infused with their bourbon flavor. I guess I don't know. One of my birthday gifts today, and I like it. It's a little weird tasting, actually, but I do like it. So, part number 1 of 2025 project, 1977 payoff pitch, as played replay. Part number 2, I'll be manually scoring all the games using the as played score sheets that Joe Bryan provided and Ron Berninger hosts on his site, baseballsimresearch.com, which if you don't visit, you really should. He's got an immense, and this is going to be one of the other things we'll go over, but he's got an immense amount of stuff available for replayers. Part number 3 is that a couple times a week I'll be entering those games in Digital Diamond Baseball. Okay? Now here's where it gets interesting, right? Yeah, I usually donate at least once a year there, Ben. Whenever I really download a significant amount of stuff to start a new replay, I always make sure I drop a few bucks and support, because the stuff that he's made available to the community, especially like Digital Diamond, has given me now a lot of the things that I used to go to manually at baseballsimresearch.com. So, but together, the two of them are an incredible resource. Like if you want to know things like how often guys pinch hit and why they were out for a certain number of days and what days they were on the roster and things like that. If you do the donation and you get his as played transaction files that he gives only if you donate, they're amazing. They're actually too much information. I can't. If you really wanted to do an extremely detailed, like accurate replay, his research is invaluable. I use it for a few different things. I use it for the as played stuff. I use it for the multi-team players. Prior to Payoff Pitch giving me every player on every team, I had to know when to move players, and the multi-team just made it easier to set it up at the beginning, and then I would just follow the transaction list on Baseball Research or on Ronbo's very, very detailed spreadsheet that tells you how many times guys pitch hit, what inning relief pitchers came in more often, so you can kind of really get an idea instead of perusing Baseball Reference to figure out how this relief pitcher was used throughout the season. You can just look at his site and look at the download he gives you for that donation, and it's all detailed out. Everything you could want. Too much. I don't know how anybody uses it all. If you were to try to use that all, I don't think you'd ever be able to get a replay done. Right? But so those are the first 3 parts, right? Summary. 77 as played. Manual score sheets. Score sheets will be entered into Digital Diamond when I have time, a couple times a week. I will keep up with it at least once a week. I will not fall behind. Part 4 is where the challenge part comes in. Okay? The challenge part is this is a calendar year replay. So I did the math and I forgot how many it is, but there's 26 teams. And I can do it real quick on my laptop, actually. I did it before and I already forgot. And somebody else could check for me if you want to validate my numbers. But there's 26 teams. Calculator. All right, so we have 26 teams times 81 home games each is 2,106 games. And then in addition to that, you've got the All-Star game, so that's 1. You've got the American League and National League Championship Series, which were best of 5. So maximum of 5 games each there. So that's 10, that's 11. Right, if I'm doing my math right. And then you've got the World Series, which is a max of 7, best of 7. So it's an additional 18 games. So 2,106 plus 18 is 2,124 games, including the All-Star game and the playoffs. And then if you divide that by 365 days, it comes out to 5.8 games per day. It's about my normal pace. Honestly, it's a little stretch, and I'll there's a caveat to that. Okay, I definitely play 6 games or more a day when I'm playing. Okay, some days I play four, some days I play 8 or 9, but 5 to 6 games is a good average. However, I do not play every single day. I probably take at least 1 to 2 days off a week, or there's a day or two a week where I only play one game, maybe two. You know, so over the course of a year, I probably have 50 days where I don't play baseball. Um, or I just get one quick game in the morning or after work, and that's it, right? Because something else is going on. So probably half, let's say 25 games where I don't play at all, 25 days of the year where I don't play at all, and then another 25 to 40 days probably that I only play one game, maybe two. So I'm not consistently playing 5 or 6 games a day. So that's where the challenge for this project comes in. We're going to do those. I already forgot the number I said. 2,124 games between now and December 31st. Obviously, I haven't started yet because here's the cards still in the cellophane. I haven't even printed out the score sheets yet. But I'm going to try to be very consistent and get 6 games a day in. Or more. If I can get more, that's great. So that's the challenge. This is a calendar year replay. It's going to require a lot of focus. It's going to require me not to get distracted. It's going to be a grind. This came up on Facebook, and people were asking how people did this. And I'd already been thinking about the fifth part of this project for a little while, and it kind of played right into this idea. Now, somebody asked how 2,430 games for a modern season. That's 4 more teams, right? That'd be 30 teams, plus playoffs, which are expanded. That comes to about 7 games a day. So it's, to do a modern season, it's 1 more game a day. But that 1 more game adds up. When you miss a day here, you miss a day there. So the thing about this is I can't really afford to fall behind. I have to get ahead early and then keep up and try to re-get ahead whenever I fall back to pace, right? So that's the challenge part of this project. I'm going to do the 1977 as-played replay, manual scoring, weekly entry in Digital Diamond for stat keeping. And the one place I might fall behind is stat keeping. That's the one part that worries me because that's a time commitment and it's not necessary to complete the project. Although it's really fun to have the stats as you go along, so there's motivation there. And then it's going to be a calendar year challenge. Now, part 5 is this. Part 5 is I'm writing a book about this, and the book is based loosely on the idea of John Coover's Universal Baseball Association novel about J. Henry Waugh. And the idea is to explore this hobby from the perspective of how it fits into our day-to-day lives and how you can have a life and still have an incredible amount of grindy dedication to the hobby. So I want to write a book and a blog to go along with it. The blog, it's actually probably just going to kind of be a blog that I'm going to re-edit and compile into a book as I go. I am going to shop the book, but if not, I'll self-publish it. I've written a couple of books before. I've gone over this on stream a few times. They've all been fiction and short story collections. They're all self-published. I haven't had anything traditionally published since I sold a few short stories back in college. But yeah, I'm going to write a book that goes along with this. The title of the novel is J. Henry Waugh Lives. And there's going to be a subtitle, and I haven't exactly hashed that out yet, but it's basically a look into the life of, a look into the daily life of a tabletop baseball replayer, something like that. I don't know. I gotta grind that part out. But the title of the book is J. Henry Waugh Lives. It'll be by me, JC, which my real name is Joseph Cleary, if you guys don't know, or Joe. Please don't call me Joseph, and definitely don't call me Joey. And I'm going to write that as the year goes along. So I'm going to basically try to do a blog entry every couple of days. I think my plan is to just use the blog entry as a chance to recap each calendar day's games briefly, and then also have an aside of how my life went during those days and how my immersion in this project affects my life and how my life affects my immersion in this project. And if it goes off the rails, that'll be part of the book. in either direction. It could go off the rails where I'm way too immersed and I'm neglecting responsibilities. It could go off the rails where I'm neglecting the replay because of responsibilities, or just boredom and the grindiness of it all, because it is a grind, right? But I'm hoping to really get an immersion factor because of that. I'm hoping to have a lot of fun writing the book. The other thing I want to do with the blog is talk to other people who are in our hobby. Everything from game designers to replayers to YouTubers to whatever, you know, maybe even other writers. Um, if I have the opportunity, maybe some baseball executives or professional players who've played various replay games and how they've been part of their lives at different times and how they influence their career paths and things like that. So, um, man, so that's the 2025 project. That's what the channel's going to be focused on. Um, and I will, when I get the blog set up, it's not set up yet. It'll be set up probably this weekend. We will talk about that on another video. But yeah, today we're going to get these cards sorted. We're going to get some score sheets printed, not on stream. That's weird. We'll get the cards sorted on stream. And then, yeah, I'm going to get my 6 games in today because today's a holiday. I have the day off. Just hanging out at home, enjoying my birthday with the wife. Might either go out or get some good dinner later. I haven't decided yet. It's all up to me. It's my birthday. I get to do what I want. But most importantly, I want to kick this project off strong. I want to, and New Year's resolution as far as the channel is, I want the channel to follow this project closely. I want daily updates on the channel, even if it's just a vlog. I'm going to try to put up a game every day. And yeah, it's going to be a grind. It's a little bit of a part-time job. Yeah, I'm a New Year's baby, yeah. I wasn't born early. I was born at like 8:15 at night. I was also born almost 4 months premature. It's another story for the story for the book, right? But because it's going to be semi-biographical, I guess, or semi-autobiographical. But yeah, that's another story. But today we're going to get started. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and we will check out these 1977 cards. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. If you want to hang out, nice chill stream today. Enjoy some morning coffee. And nope, I really want to flip the camera around. Thank you. Brief glimpse of the wife reading her book under her blanket. And let's see if I still have the camera in a good place. That's not too bad. So I've already messed this up pretty bad because this was off the top. So what I'm going to try to do is grab a complete pile. This one starts with Baltimore, so that's a good place to start. And we're going to make a couple of rows here. We're going to have 26 teams, so 3 rows of 9 would work pretty well. Or 2 rows of 9 and 1 row. Well, yeah, the last one will be combined player cards, which I don't use. And we'll bring this back this way just a little bit. A little coffee. The progress to monitoring the storylines you can glean of it, that's half the fun. I agree 100%, Ben. That's why the stats are important. I don't really know where I want this camera to focus. It's annoying me. A little bit more this way without going off the table, please. That's pretty good. All right. So you won't be able to see all the sorting, but here's Mark Belanger for Baltimore. Now, 77 is the first season I really remember. So that's one of the reasons I chose it. I've enjoyed the players in 73, but I don't remember 73 because it's the year I was born, 52 years ago today. But 77 is when I started collecting baseball cards and having an inkling of what was going on. Chet Lemon, there we go. And a little Steve Stone for the White Sox. Here's Larry Anderson, don't care, for Cleveland. Aurelio Rodriguez for Detroit. So 77 is a pretty fun season. It's the first season I have any real recollection of. That's 7. Von Joshua from Milwaukee. We're back to Baltimore, weirdly. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. And I'm looking forward to it. Here's Freddie Lynn. Freddie Lynn for Boston. Don Baylor. Baylor with 25 homers this season. Dick Drago. Didn't I have Orta already? No. All right, I had Chet Lemon. George Orta and Buddy Bell for Cleveland. Tom Buskey for Cleveland. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this project a lot. I hope you guys are too. Hope you had a good New Year. Like I said, we just kind of hung out last night. I only had one drink. I had literally a single drink of Buffalo Trace after dinner. All right, there's Minnesota. Bill Butler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to kind of see the middle row more than anything. So there's the Yankees. What I'll actually do is I'll skip a space, I think, between. I'll skip a space between the American and National League. So we're up to Oakland here. That's 9, 10, 11. Seattle, 12. 2 more teams coming. Texas and Toronto. So for me, this is kind of where baseball really began. And then we'll go to Atlanta, Chicago, Champ Summers. Wow. Cincinnati, got Houston. I didn't leave any place for these cards. So I'll figure that out. Some more Houston. Boog Powell on the Dodgers at age 36. 41 at bats, no homers. Sorry, Boog. It's pretty much washed at that point. Andre Dawson on the Expos. I think this is a fun Expos team. They were all fun Expos teams. They're just good. Like every time you see the Expos rosters, I always feel like they had fun players, man. Jim Cott still hanging around in 77 at the age of 39. Pittsburgh, San Diego, San Francisco, and of course, Mike Anderson still hanging around St. Louis. Oh, maybe that's a different Mike Anderson. He's all. Oh, he must be young in my 73 replay. Right. Little Cincinnati, little Houston. All right, maybe we can. Let me finish this pile, and I'll kind of try to give you a better overview of the table here. Not that it matters. There's Charlie Huff at age 29 on the Dodgers, a young Charlie Huff still. Larry Parrish from Montreal. Bruce Bosclair. It was Bosclair, I think. It looks like Boisclair, but I think it was Bosclair for the Mets. Nino Espinosa for the Mets. There's Jay Johnstone for Philadelphia. Dan Worthen. Of course, Dodgers and the Yankees met in the real-life World Series this year. And it was the year of Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, all those guys for the Yanks under Billy Martin, I believe. I have to check my history. There's Don Kessinger hanging around. He's 35 years old on the Cardinals. Here's a Dave Kingman combined card. We're not going to use that, but 26 homers with approximately a really low batting average of like 210. Clay Carroll combined. Put the combines up here. Right, let me do one more camera adjustment. See if I can give you a better view of everything. Oh, God, it's all drunk. That's close. So there's another combined. Boston, Bob Bailey, John Flannery for the White Sox, Rich Folkers for Milwaukee. There's a lot of cards with this set, it seems like. I don't know why there's so many, but it's a big set. It's an 8-stack set here. Joe Cannon for Houston. Tim Blackwell for Philly. Here's Anaheim Stadium for California. Stadium cards are one of the best parts. So Anaheim, 1 to 34 lefties, 1 to 57 righties on the wheelhouse. Here's the Mets Shea Stadium, Pitchers Ballpark, 1 to 37 left, 1 to 32 right. And if I can find the Mets, there we go. Dave Skaggs on the Orioles. Denny Doyle on Boston. Mike Paxton on Boston. Joe Rudy, California. 26 teams, you figure 24 regular players, at least 624 cards. Yeah, you're right. It just seems like it was bigger than the 73 set. And in fact, it maybe it's just the way they packaged it, but it looks bigger than a lot of my 80s sets that I haven't unpacked yet. So, Oscar Gamble on the White Sox. That's my dog snoring in the background. It's Oscar. Jack Morris for the Tigers. 22-year-old Jack Morris. 6 games started, a 1-1 record. It's Cookie Rojas. I don't know who the rooks are this year yet. I haven't looked. It'll be fun to check out who the rookies are. Barry Court. I don't remember him at all. And the right stack in Minnesota, Bob Randall. Chris Chambliss for New York was one of my favorites. Don Gullett for the Yanks. Piccolo for Oakland. Juan Bernhardt. Do not remember him at all. And Bill Laxton on the Mariners. And here's Ed Kirkpatrick for Texas. Alan Ashby for Toronto. Dennis Barr for Toronto. I am going to... I haven't scrapped my 73 replay. I'm going to play a game here and there. I have a bunch of replays going still. So if I get my games in early some days for this replay, I might continue that 73. Just keep myself moving in different directions. More likely than I'm just going to try to get more games in. I think I'm really just going to focus on 77, to be honest, because between the writing, the video, the out-of-town scoreboard, so to speak, there's Kingman on the Mets. Is this the year Kingman played for 4 teams? I don't remember. Paul Siebert. I think I really should try to stay as focused as possible on this, and if I can get extra games in and get ahead, that's a good thing, because, like I said, there will be days that I either don't have time or motivation to play. Dave Winfield on the Padres there. Pretty good breakout season for Winfield. 25 homers at age 26. Here's Ted Simmons. Nice season for Simmons, too. 300 batting average, 21 homers. And we've got some combined cards. Ben says, you got the 2018 season on PDF and printed those on your own. Oh, my God. So many players on those, you have to use 2 coin envelopes per team. That's nuts, man. Yeah, I don't know about the modern seasons. I was thinking about picking up 24. I'm probably going to pass on it now just because I won't have time to play it. I think I'm good on seasons for a good long time, honestly. I will fill out the 80s if Joe fills out the 80s. And that might be... I'm kind of probably stay between 73 and 94. So anything he releases at this point in those, I will most likely pick up. And other than that, even the specialty sets, I'll get just to check them out. But I don't know when I'm going to play like Legends and Busts or the Negro League set. I had some plans for that, but I decided to do this instead. And I don't know, maybe after the grind of this, I'll want to do smaller projects next year. Because I want to live forever and play them all. What can I tell you? You know? All right, so now we have some structure here. So now I can do this. This is the loose pile of crap that was floating around on top that got all out of order. Rick Russell, 20-10, 279. Nice season for Russell for the Cubs. And Billingham still hanging around in Cincinnati. Joe Kerrigan, actually the father of one of my ex-girlfriends. So she told me. I don't know if it's really him. I never met him. They were estranged, and we didn't go out for very long. But yeah, one of my college girlfriends claimed her dad was. I don't know why else would she say it. I don't think she was a baseball fan. Claimed her estranged father was Joe Kerrigan, the pitcher for multiple teams. Make sure you allocate time for 48 pitching changes during the game in modern ball. Yeah, that's the other problem, right? The constant card sorting and the lack of complete games. It really slows the games down. Suddenly we're Manny Mota of the Dodgers. There we go. Not too many at-bats from Manny that year. Dave Cash. Here's Dennis Martinez, 14-7 with a 4.10 ERA for the Orioles. Jim Rice for Boston. Rice with a nice 39 homer card. That was a lot of homers in 77. Pete Vukovich. Well, Dave Collins. Butch Hobson back to Boston. Yeah, this stack is a mess. It's all over the place. So forgive me if I'm a little more focused on sorting than chatting right now. I think it's going to be a fun challenge. I do. I think it kind of takes the guesswork out of what do you feel like playing? I don't feel like playing anything. I'm writing this book to go along with this, partly to keep me focused, partly because I really wanted to write. I had the idea for this book a while ago. I just feel like for those of us in the hobby, we know that people for the most part are generous and kind, but I think there's a misconception about people who play games in general, especially adults who play games, that somehow we're like not, we don't have good family lives, we don't have a lot of friends, we don't have good jobs, we don't live a productive life, like we're like obsessed with these games. And I don't think that's true. I think that there are people who get like that with anything, whether it be this kind of hobby or video games or television or going to bars or anything. I think people can overdo anything, right? And neglect their lives and their health and all sorts of stuff. So one of my objectives for blogging about my life through this replay this year is to show that you can be healthy, productive, have a diverse set of hobbies and interests, and still have the time for really focusing intently on a single hobby. Um, I'm good at my job. I'm gonna keep working my job, obviously. you know, but you're back to fighting with Payoff Pitch. Yeah, I had to tune out last night, Dave. I had some company over, but I wanted to jump in and say hi. How'd that game go, man? Payoff Pitch, great game. The biggest problem I had was I was well. So I was. You're the guy who got me to try it, right? Um, it was you and I think Baseball Demo's old videos about it, and I I didn't like it at first. Not good. Sorry, man. Sorry. I'm gonna do in the near future, like in January. I'm gonna do a series of videos on how I play Payoff Pitch because I've got it down to um, a pretty simple gameplay flow. And I've taken a lot of like the extra options out. Not even that I've taken them out. I've just decided which options I'm going to use and how. Um, so I'll let you know when I put that up. But yeah, I didn't like it at first at all. I was like, this game is too complicated. How do I use these charts? The instruction book, as I mentioned before, you go back and forth. Too many things are unclear. Yeah, I had to watch some videos, and I had to really look at each option in depth and figure out like how I wanted or what made sense. What like which base running option to use, um, which stealing option to use, which fielding options. Not that the fieldings really have options, but there's you can take the fielding and make it pretty simple, which I've done, or you can really use every single element of the fielding on almost every play and drive yourself up a wall. And it's great that the game has like that depth if you want it, but I'm trying to play basically. I'm like you, Dave. I like to play. My two favorite games are Strat Bait. Well, before I got Payoff Pitch working for me, my two favorite games were Strat Basic and Appa Basic. So I want it simple, man. I want to feel like I'm at the ball game and I roll the dice and I know what the hell happens on the play and I move on to the next play. And I can feel like I can visualize the players on the field, and that's it. That's what I'm looking for out of my baseball games. And like I do full season replays, so I want to keep it moving. And Payoff Pitch did not click for me for a while, and it was only when I really just kind of dissected it a little bit and played a lot of games that it started to come together. And now I've got it flowing. And even as I was playing through, like I played like almost 400 games in the last 3 months of my 73 replay. Yeah, I'm a grinder. Even then, I was tweaking as I went. Like I finally got it where I like it. Like I finally figured out a couple of things that still were holding me up, even 300 or so games in, and I just smoothed those out. So yeah, I'll do that video series. That's on my to do list very very soon. Ben says, "You think you're going back to Appa? Appa's great, man. If Payoff Pitch is driving you nuts, I get it. Your problem with payoff pitches, it does tend to be open-ended on stealing, base running, etc., with several options, and you're trying to determine the most realistic. See, that's where I went first, Ben, and then I just tried to determine they're all pretty realistic, I think. Um, I want the stats to come out good, but I want to have the most fun, right? I just want the game to flow. Hey, Justin. Justin says games need a completely solitary way to play, but benefit from good head-to-head options. Agree. Absolutely agree. I feel that way about Strat. That's what I always said about Strat, right? Sorry about the shaky table. My camera's mounted to this card table right now because of the Christmas tree. Um, I always love Strat Basic for solo play, and I only really like Super Advanced when I'm playing with other people, which is very rare these days. But I like the strategy options when I'm playing head to head. And Payoff Pitch has a ton of options. And to Joe's credit, it's great that he gave a really accurate game, in my opinion. Now that, like I said, I've played 400 games of this 73 replay, and the stats are coming out pretty spot on. Little variations, but I think the variations are due to the way I play some things. But but to have all these options, so like if you wanted to keep it simple, you can. If you want to get in depth, you can. The problem is the rule book isn't written well enough to help you understand where to use what charts, and they're almost two separate entities. Like you have to read the rule book and then figure out which chart you should even be looking at in a situation, and then sometimes even the instructions on the chart aren't clear. So there's a lot of like breaking down what the hell you should be doing in a given situation, and it's not a great experience if you're new to the game. And I think it takes some work to get the game where you want it to be and to figure out which options you like and everything. It all started to come together for me when I just decided those first two things, like which base running option I was going to use and which stealing option I was going to use. So going live in 90 minutes, inviting all to come on camera. You should come on for a few minutes, talk about the 84 project. I will see if I can tune in, Dave. Thanks. I appreciate the invite, man. That'd be fun. I will check it out. I'm looking forward to that. I forgot you had your New Year's show today. That's perfect. Yeah, the 84 project's a lot of fun. Going really well. People are really enjoying it. I don't have time to play it as much as I want to, but I'm enjoying kind of like running it and overseeing it. It was funny that you said when you were talking about it with Ron on one of the recent Digital to Dice that you were happy that you didn't have to run anything. You didn't have to organize anything. You could just jump in and play. And man, I know exactly what you mean because I was super excited to get like started playing that project. But the organization took so much of my time and energy, and it continues to just answering people's questions and onboarding people and making sure everybody has access and understands the rules and tweaking the rules when we find something that isn't quite working. That I lost the fun of playing. You might grab 84 Appa to play it more. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I lost the fun of playing it. So I made that decision to kind of step away from it and just be the organizer, just be the commissioner, so to speak. And I'm a lot happier since I have, because now I can just enjoy watching you guys recaps, watching the stats come together, and still have plenty of time and energy to answer everybody's questions. And so it's been fun, man. And I like that the community's coming together on it. I hope more people, stream some games from it, because I think it's a really good thing for the community overall. And I think it'd be a lot of fun, even if people played games together, right? Like if you pick a game and another one of the guys who's playing, you wouldn't believe the amount of questions we get asked just doing the show. I can only imagine, man. We have like the hobby, right? We have like a lot of analytical people in the hobby, right? And a lot of people who like different things different ways. And there's this constant fascination with how other people play and why people play. And it's really fun, but man, yeah, I couldn't believe the amount of interest in the project so quickly. And I couldn't believe some of the questions people were asking. Very honestly, I was surprised. I was like, wait, I thought I made this really clear. I thought I did a pretty good job of spelling this out. And then as it turned out, I learned I didn't. I'm like, no, that's actually a really good question. I did not answer that question. So yeah, it's tough. The more people you get involved, right? Like the tougher it gets. You guys do an awesome job though, by the way. You're more than anything, you guys are the ones who got me to actually start broadcasting. So thank you very, very much for that. It's been fun. I just hope I can get a little consistent in 2025. Because life's hard, man. Life's hard. Work and family and stuff that comes up, and medical stuff and house stuff. Like, holy crap. The fact that you guys have done this for going on what? Is this 7 or 8 years? It's an amazing job, Dave. Amazing job. Um, I found you guys when I was recuperating from a triple bypass last year. So, and you guys got me through a lot of days where I couldn't do much of anything. And I just sat there listening to your old podcast. So thank you for that. That was awesome. And you rekindled my interest in a hobby that I was kind of falling away from. I don't know whether I should thank you for that or not. you know, but no, I do thank you for that. But, yeah, I'll definitely tune in and maybe take you up on the invite depending on what I'm doing. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was and you were right there when I needed you, and the hobby was there when I needed you. And it's funny that you kind of find things sometimes that help you through the tough times in your life, right? And that's why I'm writing this book this year. I want to write a book about the hobby and about my immersion in this replay this year, and kind of interview some people and talk about the hobby in general and get a better insight into how the hobby fits into people's lives. And I do want to explore the really positive side of it, for things like that, where it helps people through some of these really tough times. And the fact that we've built this community around these games, it's crazy, man. You'll send a link over Facebook when you get it set up. Sounds good, bud. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that I want to write this book, is because the hobby became so important for me in finding myself again, after I really felt like I lost the ability to do everything. Like I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk after the bypass. It was crazy. I'm like, how is this a thing that I don't know how to walk anymore? I'm like, all I could do was just like sit in this one chair. I couldn't even go to bed. I couldn't even lay down in bed. It hurt too much. And I was too scared of like shifting my chest and breaking what was trying to heal, where they'd literally sawed open my sternum, and just sitting there listening to your podcast, watching other people on YouTube, getting back to first. I started playing Action PC because I couldn't even move the cards around. Like what I'm doing right now, just sorting these cards, was physically beyond my capabilities. A little over a year and a half ago, in those first few weeks out of the hospital, and it was like, what the hell? So I was playing Action PC and just listening to like the podcast and YouTube and stuff, and then slowly was able to put Strat back on the table. But then, of course, I'd been watching all these guys play these other games. So I was like, oh, I got to try that game now. And I got to try that game. Had all this free time. Then I went back to work and I had no time. And I was like, well, what am I doing? How can I even keep this hobby up? But, because you're exhausted when you go back to work after something like that. But it all came together again. I kept going to the gym and going to rehab and trying to eat better. And I'm still struggling with all of it. I mean, life's hard, Huge dietary changes and exercise changes are very difficult. And I continue to struggle with them. But I have to keep at it. But here's the hobby. Here's this cool thing that I really look forward to on my days off when I have time. Yeah, I remember, Dave. I remember you talking about it, and the stress and the struggle and the fear. And I'd commented a few times on your videos, relating that I'd gone through the same thing and that it was going to be okay, man, because it's tough. It's a crazy, crazy thing. You don't realize. I mean, obviously, it's like this life-changing thing, but you don't realize that you just lose everything. Physically, I lost the ability to do everything, and it was nuts. Like I had to get a special toilet. We had to modify our toilet so I could go to the bathroom without straining myself. Like it was crazy things, and I think people should talk about that stuff more, because a lot of people go through stuff. And one of my focuses when I started the channel was like, this is a pretty sedentary hobby, and I always talked about early on in the channel that here I am walking the dogs, or here I am coming back from the gym or whatever. Like I want people to get up and move, man. I want people to like you just stay healthy and get healthy if you're not healthy, and do the best you can. Nobody's going to be perfect. You're not going to be an Instagram model. You're not going to be run marathons if you haven't before, right? But like if you could stay healthy, you can be there for your family. You can enjoy your quality of life longer. You get more time to play more seasons. you know, but your wife's doing well, right? Seems like things have kind of evened out. And I know you said she retired, so that's cool. Um, but yeah, like I was real healthy for the first I don't know 8 or 9 months, and then I kind of snapped back over the holidays last year, and then I got back on track again in the spring, and then but like that's like a pattern, and I just want to like eliminate that pattern this year. I just want to get to the gym 5 times a week without missing. I want to keep my diet on track. I want to give up alcohol pretty much completely. Um, 'Cause even though I've cut it back again, I still feel like it takes a lot out of me. So it's super important to like promote health and fitness in in a community where the hobby is so sedentary and can be really consuming if you're not careful, right? So, and here I am committing to allowing myself to be consumed by the hobby for a year a little bit, but I want to do it as an experiment to make a point about the community and about the hobby, but also as a test of my resilience, I guess, and as a way to structure my days to help me get to the gym more often and things like that. So, like ultimately, as much time as I'm going to spend on a hobby and writing this book this year, um, it's going to be tertiary to my other responsibilities. Right, my first responsibility is staying healthy for my family. My second responsibility is taking care of my family and doing well at work and meeting all those responsibilities. And then if the hobby's there third, that's great. The hobby's going to be the stress relief for all that. So I need a little sip of coffee here. I probably need some water actually. Getting into card and dice sports games in 2024 has been a major plus in your life, man. I was dealing with some issues with the Scrabble and cribbage organizations, and you no longer play in those. Isn't that weird? How when you organize something, sometimes it goes to shit. Like I've heard similar things. I was very briefly involved in like some of the strat tournaments, and there's just weird political bullshit that goes along with anytime you organize something. People are gonna like twist it sometimes, and I don't know why it happens. Maybe it's human nature. I really don't know, but it makes it for those of us who just want to play and have fun and enjoy the camaraderie. Like it keeps me away from leagues. That's why I try to keep the 84 project so wide open and like just fun, because I don't want anybody to feel like if you screwed up or if you do something wrong, you're out. And no, like no, fuck it, you're gonna screw up. We're all gonna make mistakes. We're gonna use the wrong pitcher. We're gonna put the guy on the wrong team, just like we do in our own replays. I do it all the time, man. I forget to give the third out and all that stuff. You just keep moving forward, having fun. It's a fucking game. Have a good time. Relax. Enjoy yourself. Your problem is how much cheating is rampant and how little they work on getting it out of the game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like you're just there to have fun. How serious are you taking this, right? When money's involved. Oh yeah, if money's involved, forget it. Listen, you're talking to a guy who played professional poker for almost 12 years. That was my sole income for a large part of my 20s. And yeah, there was plenty of cheating in that too. Fortunately, the people cheating were really terrible at poker. And they were pretty easy to spot and avoid when you knew what you were looking for. But Dave would love to see a payoff pitch video on stealing, base running, and runner advancement. You got it, man. You got it. I'll definitely break down the series. I'm probably going to do like a 4 or 5 parter of relatively short videos. They're not each going to be like hours. I'm going to try to do like 15 to 20 minute video on like the hitting part, the pitching part, Just the aspects of the game. It'll probably be 3 videos now that I'm thinking about it. So figure, 45 minutes to go over the whole game, I think will be sufficient. And I've got it really pretty simple. I don't use the fast action cards, by the way, which I know goes against what most of the community says, but they slow me down. And I don't like them. And I think they skew the stats because I don't think they are. It doesn't make, well, I'd have to do the math. I shouldn't say I don't think they're accurate. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like the way they play. I don't like that I have to have more on the table. I like the dice to be able to tell me everything. And I like to refer to as few charts as possible. That's why I've been a strat guy for so long, or maybe that's because I've been a strat guy for so long. That's my focus. So I really stripped it down. Problem is you take cards out of the deck, use the chance of having those outcomes come up again. Exactly, Ben. Exactly. And I don't know. I just don't think it's needed. And I have no problem if you want to use them. Like it adds a little bit of variety to some of the base running situations and things like that. But I think the dice do a perfectly good job with. I generally have the stealing chart up, the defense chart up for the defense checks, and in the background I have the I can't even think which chart it is. Oh, the chart that shows where a hit is when I need to figure out if I'm going to use the choice option on something, right? But other than that, I don't refer to anything. And 90% of my chart lookups. Now, all right, so 75. 75% of the time it's the stealing chart, and then when I have to flip it over for the runner on third, like the infielder corners in chart, that's the chart I refer to probably 75-80% of the time. The other 18% of the time is going to be like the defense check chart, and then literally less than 5% of the time is me checking to see where a ball was hit to see if I want to take an extra base when choice comes up. And most of the time I don't even look because depending on the game situation, I'm usually not taking the extra base. And I use the auto steal option, and it's a single die roll. And you can actually use the original die roll for the batter for the auto steal. That's how Joe intended it. Same thing for double plays. Although I re-roll because I want the variety. For reasons that I'll explain in the video, but yeah, I've got it super simple. I play a payoff pitch game in when I'm scoring it on digital the diamond, it actually slows me down. But I play use the facts sparingly and it works. There's definitely spots where I can understand where they would fill in well. But I forget what I was going to say. Anyway, let me read the chat a little bit. With no one on base, it's easy, but one runner and it's all over the place. Yeah, I've just super slimmed it down, man. I'll go over it for sure. I'll make that a priority in the next 2 weeks. Payoff pitch, there aren't that many hitting scenarios with the number of cards. Not as big of an issue, but still. Now, like you start to get into basketball, trying a couple of games, but those games take forever to play. And they are very FAQ intensive. Yeah, I think you have to be FAQ intensive for games that have so many plays, right? Like even strat basketball. I actually really love strat basketball and strat hockey and the way their fast action card system works. I haven't tried anything else in those sports, but I don't see how you could do a game in those sports that was even playable without fast action cards, honestly. And they I don't play them because they do take forever. Like when I put strat basketball on my tabletop, it's a 2 to 2.5 hour time dedication, and I'll never get through like a replay. Forget it. So I stopped buying those. Same thing with hockey. Hockey plays a lot faster, but still, it's like 40 minutes to an hour, and I don't know. I've kind of been looking for a hockey alternative. I know Hockey Bones. A lot of people talk about. There's a couple others. If I ever feel like I have the time for it, and I'm really bored and want to try something else, I'll check it out. Yeah, it does take longer than the real game, doesn't it? You just use the fact for base runner advancement on hits. Otherwise, you use the charts. Yeah, I don't. I honestly I'm pretty much use the basic runner advancement, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I think I may have tweaked it a little bit. I have to really think about it when I make the video to explain how I do it, because I just do it now, you know. But I everything that required additional rolls or um, additional pain points, I guess, like decision points that ultimately didn't mean a lot. I just tried to get out of the game, and I'm pretty happy with the way it plays for me now. It really just plays like extended Strat Basic with fixing some of the issues I didn't like about Strat Basic, like the base stealing being really unrealistic or not having left-right splits. You know, oh, Stone Cold Hockey. That's what I was thinking about. Appa Hockey and Hockey Bones are great. See, that's the problem. Everybody likes different things. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll get around to investing in some hockey at some point. I don't watch enough of it anymore. That's part of the problem. I'd have to go back. One of my big things about hockey would be I need like an 80s or 90s season. Um, like I grew up, I was a Rangers fan. I am a Rangers fan, so I can't find this team. Glare. That's why. Excuse me. If there's one perfect game, we'd all be playing it. Probably not. Somebody would find something wrong with it, Ben, but I know what you mean. I think you play anything long enough, you get a little tired of it. And variety is nice. Like I was good with Strat forever until I saw all these other games people were playing, and now, um, well, I still get Strat on my table pretty regularly. Like this is my go-to, and I'm scared to try inside pitch or replay. I am because I don't want to go in another direction. I don't want to like have another game that I think, oh, let me get some seasons in that. Because a little variety is great, but too much variety becomes paralysis. Like I have so much now I don't know what I want to play half the time. So what am I going to do if I get additional seasons? Um, that'd be nuts. Like if I still have Dynasty League. I haven't even tried it yet. I bought the Dynasty League Anniversary Edition last year. Actually, I got it for Christmas. I shouldn't say I bought it. My wife got it for me when I was like just trying new games, and I haven't played that. I've only played a very little bit of Fall Classic, um, even though I have 3 seasons for that. It's like I spent this year. I spent 2024. I was going to say this year, but hey, it's a new year. Happy New Year, everybody! I spent 2024 learning payoff pitch really, and getting pretty immersed in it finally. And now I have a bunch of seasons for that, and I'm scared to like go buy another game. I like trying multiple games, and I never got anywhere with one project. Tried to keep it down to two to three ongoing games. Yeah, that's the trouble. The more scattered you get, the harder it is to ever finish anything. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes this year as I try to focus exclusively on this project for the most part. I'm sure I'll play some other stuff. I might play more computer stuff on the side just so I can keep this on the table. I'm really enjoying Action PC 25 baseball, and I really like the football game. And was thinking about doing like a football replay and a hockey replay this year at Action PC. So if I do have additional time on the channel, or even in my own recognizance, that's probably what I'll do. I also tried Diamond Mind, which is a pretty good sim, but man, it's even more dated than Strat. Um, I like the way the game plays, but I like the options it gives, and it definitely feels really accurate. But it's so dry to play, man. It's like doing a baseball spreadsheet. You have a lot of pop seasons. See, that's why I'm bummed out. You're fighting it again. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough too. I think, Dave, when you jump around to so many games like you do. Um, it's going to be natural. Like that's what I did too when I started playing all the different ones, and I just kept gravitating back to Appa and Strat because I knew I could throw them on the table and I knew how to play them and I knew I'd enjoy the game. Right? It's like then I'd get excited about. Like I got excited about Fall Classic for like a month. and it just never clicked. There was just something missing. As many options as I tried. Like I liked at first, I really liked Fall Classic. Um, it was super simple. It felt like it had some good options, and then I actually felt like it was too simple. And then when I tried to add in some of the complications, I just felt like they were adding complication. I didn't feel like they were adding to my gaming experience. So that was a month back in like February last year, and I just couldn't. That didn't click for me. It never clicked. And it took 3 tries for Payoff Pitch to click. 3 real tries. Three like I'm starting a replay with this. I did 69 at first. That was the first season I bought for it, and I got like 80 games in, and I was like, it just feels like work. So I got away from it. I think I went back to APA at that time. Played a little APA. Got a little bored. Because there's some things about APA that in general, I don't like. I like the game a lot. I question, well, once again, not to ruin things that other people love, but I question the direction of the company. I question the game engine in some aspects. The fact that I don't know how accurate those pitchers could be, man, broken down the way they are. Not in the basic game, anyway. But then I don't know how accurate strat pitchers can be. I guess the variations are the same. But I grew up with strat, so I'm more tolerant of its flaws, right? Strat, APA so close, but the runner advance feels too basic, and the errors don't feel unrealistic. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree with you about the errors. I really didn't like the errors. And then it was like, oh, use this randomizer for this and use this randomizer for that. And I was like, man, again, it was adding on complication that I didn't want to get the statistical like accuracy that I wanted. So that drove me away from that a little bit too. And I don't know. I don't know how accurate Payoff Pitch is. It feels really accurate, but if you choose different options or you tweak the game a little bit, does it lose some of the accuracy? And then the real question, which is a really good video in and of itself that I should do, is how much and I think you guys have done it on the podcast, Dave, is um, how much how accurate does it have to be for it to matter? Like, is it enough? I really hope I'm sorting these right. I think I'm multitasking okay. Is it enough to be close? Or does it have to be really accurate? Isn't it like how much can you forgive if it deviates just a little for playability, right? Like Strat 50/50, obviously not an accurate representation of how baseball works, but the stats come out really good over the course of a full season or multiple seasons. So, like, can you forgive the 50/50 engine? I grew up with it, so I forgive it automatically. But if I'd found that game in my 30s, I don't know how forgiving I'd be of it, right? That's part of the problem too. Is we get more analytical as we get older. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and all of a sudden we're doubting if we're even enjoying something because we're questioning everything. Like goddamn cynicism of age. Like I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun and get a sense of immersion and be able to share that with the community. That is all I'm looking for at this point. Strat isn't set up well for played with a limited number of fringe players available. Well, yeah, that's it. As played, forget it. Fun is definitely greater than accuracy, Dave. 100%. 100%. I envy you and your ability to jump around and just play small projects and one-offs because my brain is keyed into these full season or at least longer projects. And man, I wish I could just jump into a game like you do sometimes and be like, I want to see how this goalie who only started one game does and get the enjoyment out of it that you do. Because it doesn't do it for me that way. I'm too cynical, I guess. You're more of a kid at heart than I am at this point. And I'm jealous. Baseball greater than accuracy. Agree. Make me feel like I'm at the game. Make me feel like this would really happen. As long as I feel like what I'm watching take place on my tabletop could really happen at a game, and the long-term statistics don't break my immersion. You know, like if I've got guys hitting 550 like I would in like video games back when I was good at them, when I was playing like Triple Play 96 or something, and I forget who the hell it was. Was it Mariano Duncan who hit over 500 on the season for me? Like that breaks my immersion. Like that's what drove me back to tabletop games in the first place. So, but I don't think it'd be hard to find a tabletop baseball game at this point that would screw you up that badly. That would screw the stats up that badly. They're all pretty accurate. You know, like RGL's Game of the Week season projects. Pick one game from each calendar week and quick play the rest. That is cool. That is cool. If I do stuff with Action PC, that is what I'll do. And who knows, after this grindy season of 77 in one calendar year, I may want to switch to a different format. But we're going to see how it goes. I've done full season replays before. I have completed them, all in Strat, by the way. Only one in Strat Super Advanced, the others in Strat Basic. And I love the outcome, right? I love getting to the end of the season, even though it's a grind sometimes, even though it takes forever. Most of them took me between 2 and 3 years. Only one of them took me a little over a year. I think it was like 14 months. That was 62 when it first came out, or when the reissue first came out, I should say. Obviously, I wasn't alive in 63, so I couldn't play it when it first came out. But I got that one done pretty quick for whatever reason. I think I just didn't have a lot going on, and I think that was the year my computer broke. I didn't have the funds to just go out and replace my gaming PC. Rolly Eastwick. It's a great name, by the way. Joel Youngblood. Whenever I see this, I think hockey, because all I can think of is that Youngblood hockey movie with Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze. That for some reason people hate now, but I really love that movie. Detroit. Now we're skipping around here. This is the 5th of 8 stacks, if you were wondering how we're doing on the sorting. I'm not even really paying attention to the sorting beyond making sure they go on the right stack. I'm just chatting with you guys about whatever comes up. So thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Makes these projects... This is very therapeutic. I really like sorting. I know some people hate this, but I really, really like sitting here and just sorting out the cards. And I know some people like to examine the cards as they go through them. I don't. I like to get them sorted so I can start playing. But I also find the sorting therapeutic. You love that movie, Dustin? Man, I haven't seen that in a long time, but I adore that movie. I don't remember it very well. I just know I really liked it. I remember the high points. I mean, it's kind of a pretty typical 80s movie, if memory serves. Pretty typical 80s movie. And I should try to finish this up by the time. What time are they going on? 12 o'clock? We got another hour before Dave and the fellows come on. So that'll be fun. But we'll definitely be done with this by then. Probably another half hour of sorting here would be my guess. And then I want to work on printing out some score sheets for the first week and getting my replay started later this afternoon. After lunch. All right, so stack number 5 down, stack number 6 coming up. Other than Yanks Dodgers, I don't remember much about this season, actually. I know a lot of players from baseball cards, though. Like, this was my baseball card. 77, 78, probably through 82, were my baseball card collecting hotspot as a kid. Still have them all somewhere in storage, but pretty sure they're all worthless. Because, man, did I do a lot with those cards. Remember how on the back of the cards they had the little baseball game you could play by shuffling the cards? And I would just make my lineups off of the the team checklist or whatever. I'd just make the lineups, and then I would flip those cards. And I think that was the first baseball game I ever played. I would just score those games off the back of the Topps cards. Pretty sure they were Topps cards because I don't remember getting anything else. And I'd play out those games, just reading the back of those cards from the 70s and 80s. It said like single, homer, out, or ground ball, or something. I don't remember what the outs were at all, actually. And I have to do a once over of each of these stacks to make sure that people are in the right place, because I've definitely almost caught myself putting guys in the wrong stack a couple of times now. We just watched, what was I watching the other day? We were just talking about The Natural yesterday. Love that movie. I'm actually listening to The Era, which is a baseball book, and I can't think of the writer's name right now, but I'm listening to it on Audible in my car right now, which I have a very short commute, so it's going to take me a long time to listen to it. But it's about, I think it's 47 through 57 or something, so it's like an 11-year stretch of the baseball universe. And I did not know that The Natural was based on the real life story of this woman who stalked Eddie Waitkiss and almost killed him. I had no idea that that's where Bernard Malmoud got the idea for The Natural. I'm sure there's other influences, but that's the driving story about Eddie Waitkiss getting shot by this woman and later dying of lung cancer from the lung he was shot in. Never realized there was a real life correlation to The Natural. So that's crazy. But love sports movies in general. I think Major League's my favorite. It's the one I can watch over and over again in any case. Not so much Back to the Minors, but the first Major League is a classic. It's a whole nother stream in and of itself where you just go over sports movies. Seattle, Texas. Mike Hargrove. Mike Marshall still playing in 77. Still eating up innings. How many innings? Oh, no, he's not. He must have been hurt a lot of the year. Or he only played on Texas for a little while, maybe. I don't know if he got traded, but only 35 innings and 12 games on Texas. Gary Woods. Rod Gilbreth. Sounds like he should be a hockey player. Every time I see that name, I think Rod Gilbreth should have played hockey. Gary Nolan still pitching. Steve Garvey. 33 homers for Garvey. Really good season in 77. Big reason that the Dodgers ended up in the World Series in real life. Gossage on Pittsburgh? Wow, I didn't realize that. How did I not know that? Gossage was on Pittsburgh in 77? 1.62 ERA? Holy shit. I guess Goose didn't come to the Yanks till 78. I was 4 and 5 years old in 77, 78, so those are going to blur together. There's Mike Phillips. And we got some combined cards here. Here's Raleigh Eastwick's combined card, 64 games. Here's Tom Seaver's combined card. That's right, he went from the Mets to Cincinnati this year. 21 and 6, 2.58 ERA, and 33 games started, 19 complete games. Tom might have been good at baseball. Chicago. Minnesota. Steve Burke. Craig Robinson, the comedian. Brewers. Milwaukee Stadium. A lot of pitchers' parks, too. I'm noticing. Well, here's Three Rivers. That's a bit of a batter's park for lefties anyway. 1-63 on that wheelhouse. Where is Pittsburgh? There you are. Tony Chavez for Baltimore. Mike Barlow. Here's Kessinger for the White Sox. He was also on St. Louis, so obviously he got traded. Thornton for Cleveland. 28 homers for Andre Thornton. Didn't realize that. 21-year-old Lance Parrish for Detroit there. Very few appearances. Vern Rule. Here's Frank White. 27 years old, only 5 homers. He had inconsistent power, huh? He had some pretty good power seasons and some really low power seasons. You getting 77 for Appa? I love this season, man. I've played this in Strat a bunch, but I never did like a full season replay. I actually think I did a draft league with my Strat 77. Um, it was like a 40 game season or something. But I had a lot of fun with it. It was one of the first Strat sets I got when I was back into the hobby. Um, I don't think I bought it from them. I'm pretty sure it was like the first set I bought off eBay. But there's just so many fun. There's something fun about almost every season. Probably about every season. Sometimes you got to look to find it. Sometimes there's no pennant race, right? Like 69, pennant races aren't great. Like if anybody watched Jeff Guterman's Strat replay for 69, both American League teams ran away with it. Like it was over in August, and but the stats for 69 are just fun. I think Reggie Jackson hit 51 homers for him. Like there's some monster seasons in 69 that made that American League really playable. Here's Felix Mian, Pat Zachary. For a while, I was just playing out like I played out Hornsby's 1924 season. I played out Ruth's 1920 season. Yeah, for Strat. I was doing that for a little while. That was fun for just short projects, but it just didn't scratch the itch for me. They were like nice palate cleansers, but I would finish like a 162 game season in like, I don't know, 3 weeks. When I was first back into the hobby, so it was like, whatever. Like I did a few Yankee replays because that's my team. Because I grew up in the Bronx, so I didn't have a choice. Not that I'm ashamed of it, but I know it's the evil empire and all, so I feel like I have to be apologetic to the community for always rooting for the Yanks. But guys who grew up like, I don't know, 5 blocks from the stadium. So if you think I had a choice in my fandom, you're nuts. I don't know if any of us really have a choice in our fandom, if we get it when we're young enough. For the sports we grow up loving. All right, that was a stack down. 2 stacks to go. But yeah, for me it was Reggie and Catfish Hunter and Gossage and Pinella, Chambliss and Oscar Gamble. Those are the guys I'm really going to be looking forward to getting on the table here. And now with my adult baseball knowledge, it's going to be fun to see the Seavers of the world and the how that Los Angeles team comes together. How some of these other... It's always fun to put Nolan Ryan on the mound. Mike Phillips for the Mets, please. Here's Omar the Outmaker Moreno. How many did he steal this year? 53. 53 stolen bases in a full season. It looks like he batted around 240 this year, so that's one of his better years. There's some really, really fun Omar Moreno cards that are just awful to look at, but fun to play with in Strat. So, looking forward to this project. I feel like 73 has been a warm-up to this. I was going to play this after I finish 73, but honestly, it's going to take me most of this year to finish 73, and I'd rather just jump on a new project on January 1st. It's just how my brain works. Always has. And if we can stick with it, we'll finish it this year. And it'll be a lot of fun. Chronicling it and writing a book about it. And just playing these games, man. Just playing these games to get some escape from the stress of work and house stuff and hospital stuff. And hanging out with the community on chat. It's the best part, honestly. My favorite part. Like, I love playing the games. I love calling the games to an audience on Strat and people getting involved when it's a good game. That's really fun. It makes it so much more immersive to call the games out loud like that. It's like a little fantasy fulfillment of being like a baseball announcer. And it's just great fun. Those guys have the best job in the world. Best job. Other than the players. I think the announcers might have more fun than the players. Imagine just a 50 or 60 year career as a baseball announcer. and the things you've seen and the games you've called, people you've met. It's just a good time. I think I probably wanted to be. Oops. Hold on. No, and he's on the wrong stack. He's on the wrong stack. Got some Montreal mix-ups here. There we go. All right, Dave. We'll see you in a little while. Have a great podcast. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you hanging out. We're going to wrap this up just in time to watch them and hang out on that podcast while I prep this replay. So that'll be fun. Boston. Oop, damn it. We're skipping around again. We're almost there. We're almost there. Sam Perlazzo. Isn't that weird that I remember that name and I have no idea why? Probably from another replay. That's probably why I think I know half these names. Here's Dale Murphy card. 21 years old, 2 homers. 76 at-bats for Atlanta. Cincinnati, Houston. You ever see like same last name and you just wonder if guys are related to other guys and you don't know? Veteran Stadium, still the launching box. Carlton Fisk's card, 26 homers for Carlton this year. Louis Tiant, Rusty Torres, Lamar Johnson. Johnson with an 18-homer season. He had 18 homers, he only had 24 walks. But man, he killed left-handed pitching. 342 with 10 homers and 184 at-bats. Killed left-handed pitching. And Ogledy. Waithen. We're almost there. What time is it? It's almost. Are they doing 11:30 or 12? Oh, we'll be there. Either way. We know with this by 11:30 for sure. Here's Catfish Hunter on the Yanks. 9-9, a 4.71. Not as good as you would think, right? He's 31. That's a tough season for Catfish, but obviously some injury time. Unless he was traded during the season. I don't remember. We're going to find out. There's Buckner. Billy Buckner. Famous for a Red Sox. Long time on the Cubs. Ted Martinez. Hank Webb. Jerry Hannes. Never heard of this guy. Lee Mazzilli for the Mets. Jackson Todd. Warren Brewstar. Ed Kirkpatrick. And Jim Rooker. Rooker still pitching strong in 77. 35 years old. 14-9, a 3.08. John DeKisto. Harry Herndon. Randy Moffett. Still an effective reliever. And Mike Tyson, not the boxer. Carlos May, not too many at-bats for the Angels this year. We're almost done with stack number 7 here. Oakland is where? It's over here. Fregosi is on Texas at this point. Mike Marshall. 4 games in Atlanta. So he moved around. There's Tim Blackwell. Ryan Greer for San Diego. It's the Royals Stadium. And a blank card. And we move on to the last deck here. Time to shower up, and we'll catch you in an upcoming game. Sounds good, Ben. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. We're just going to wrap up this last stack and get out of here. And I'm going to hang out and watch that Digital the Dice podcast. So, and again, depending on what I have going on with the wife here, I might or might not take Dave up on his invite. That'd be kind of fun to jump on there for a few minutes and hang out with those guys. Answer some questions about the community project. And, yeah. I appreciate Dave inviting me. That was nice. So, there's Willie Horton. He got traded. He got a combined card. Mike Dimmel. Don't know that guy at all. California. Detroit, Oakland, Texas, Cincy, New York, Dan Norman. Nope, no idea. Here's the Braves. Wow, look at Fulton County Stadium in 77. Wheelhouse 1-96 lefties, 1-93 righties. Wow. It's going to be some fun 81 games in Fulton County. I'm going to take a quick shower after this too, actually. Got about 5 more minutes of sorting here. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this project. For those of you who might have tuned in late, 77 as played replay, manually scored, stats kept by entering the games in Digital to Diamond after the fact. Full season replay within the calendar year. And along with that, I'm going to write a blog/book about it. And it's going to be called J. Henry Waugh Lives, which is a play on the Universal Baseball Association by recently departed Robert Coover. And it's going to be 2 parts to the book, really. It's going to be like alternating chapters, I think. I don't know. We'll figure out the format as I go. But first part is going to be me recapping the well, there's 3 parts, really. There's me recapping the replay, which is going to be relatively brief in terms of the book. There might be more on the blog about the replay. There will be more on the blog about the replay, like a daily kind of summary. But very brief highlights of the replay through the book. The second part is going to be how focusing on getting a replay done in a calendar year fits in with the rest of my life. And basically the day-to-day life of a sports, or in this case, baseball sim replayer, aka J. Henry Waugh, from Robert Coover's very, very good novel about it's only partly about this hobby. It's a very early look at the hobby, obviously. But more of an examination of mental health and words are failing me right now, but sort of being estranged from society by choice or maybe by necessity, right? The way a hobby can take over your life and become your life if you're not careful. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and I want to see what happens to me as if it hasn't already happened to me. How the hell do I know? Maybe I'm already nuts. But how it affects me as I play through the season, and how it affects my life, and how my life affects the replay and my ability to keep up with the commitment I'm making to this, right? And ultimately, guys, if it gets tough, by the way, believe me, as much as I'm committed to writing the book and getting this replay done, if life gets in the way, so to speak, actually the other way, if the replay gets in the way of my life, then I'll drop it in a heartbeat and just go back to kind of chilling out. And that in and of itself will be informative and interesting to examine the reasons for that. But yeah, and I kind of want to talk to other people in the hobby about their experiences and what the hobby means to them, and examine both the positive and negative aspects, right, of this particular hobby, but hobbies in general, and how they can both help us enjoy our lives more, but also perhaps harm us from being able to live fulfilling lives at times. So, I don't know. Should be interesting. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a guy who likes baseball games and is curious about human nature. So, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a fun writing exercise and a fun playing exercise, if nothing else. So, and who knows? Maybe it'll be a New York Times bestseller. Stranger things have happened. We're just getting down to the last few cards here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today on this Happy New Year and my 52nd birthday stream. That's kind of fun. 52. It's crazy. I'm still a kid in my brain, you know? I think that's, from what I understand, I guess everybody kind of feels like that. We're all surprised at how old we really are and at how much time has passed. And I just hope I can stay healthy and enjoy my family and my life in this hobby for many, many more. And I wish the same for you. I wish you a happy, healthy new year as we have Fenway Park, the final sorted card, in this 1977 payoff pitch set. It's another, there's some power parks here. This is just like Atlanta. Lefties 1 to 93, righties 1 to 97. So big homer park in Fenway in 77. But guys, really appreciate you hanging out, and I will see you later. My name's Joe. This is JC Sports Replays with the 1977 Payoff Pitch Baseball card sorting and project announcement. Happy New Year. May it be healthy and wonderful for you. And I will see you on the next stream. Bye-bye. Don't forget to tune in to Digital Dice Podcast, the New Year's launch show. I may join them. We'll see. See ya.